So we're chatting with the guys at HAIRitage Barbershop about all of the biggest headlines. Y'all ready to talk?
What's up? Welcome to HAIRitage Sports Talk, Season 2, Episode 3. I'm your host, Rodney Legendary Brown. We're going to jump right into this one. I'm going to bring out my right-hand man like always. First up, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. Tony Harvey.
Season 2, what's happening, Rodney?
Season 2, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy?
We're doing great. We're doing great. Got a lot of sports content to cover this next hour and stuff. So glad we right back at it. And I know y'all been doing things with In the Cut. You know, y'all to start that back again. So I'm good, looking forward to that in the future. Hopefully I can participate, but I'm glad y'all carrying that on, for at least the Sacramento region. Peace.
Yes, sir. Well, before we start introducing everybody else, Tony, we live today. So we're going to do this live today, you guys. If you got any comments, put your comments in the section. You got anything that you want to discuss? If we can get to it, we definitely going to discuss it. This is In the Cut. We talk about everything on the outside, everything on the inside. This ain't In the Cut. This is HAIRitage Sports Talk. See, this is what happens when you overlapping. This is HAIRitage Sports Talk, where we talk about everything on the outside, everything on the inside, and definitely everything in the cut. Ladies and gentlemen,
I know the feeling there before we get to our guests and stuff, because you know what I'm saying. But you cool, bro. It's all family too. What we talking about?
It's all family, right? It all connects. So if you guys don't get a chance, make sure you check out In the Cut. Good Day Sacramento, CBS. Ladies and gentlemen, my man coming up. He ain't never slow. Welcome to the show, Mr. DSpeed.
What's happening with it, fellas? What's
good
with y'all?
What's up, bro?
What's up with the fellas, man?
What's good with you, man?
Hey, Rod, you got a little bit of some cross contamination going on, man.
You see that?
Calling this in the cut, nah, bro. This HAIRitage.
See what happens when you working too hard and too damn much, man. It's all good, dude.
He don't miss a beat, does it? He don't miss a beat. You see
What's up with T-Hard?
What's going on with you, DSpeed? Hey, DSpeed, I've been seeing some of your promos, man, on Instagram. It looks really good, though, man, how you promote your brand, man. So I just got to give you a shout out to that, and everybody else should know that as well.
I appreciate that, man. Coming from you, I really appreciate that, man. I'm just trying to let people see what I'm doing on this side. But, it's we all one conglomerate. Still take a village.
It's real creative, though, how you do it. So that's the most important part, people.
Thank you, dope.
I like the professionalism.
Yeah, the professionalism is just, up to par. That's the way it need to be, especially in our community, indeed.
I like that.
Rick Fame, too. I know Rick Fame is not with us. We won't be with us today, or, we'll catch him later on in the week. But he does a great job of, promoting his, his empire.
Yes. That coming from like OGs in the game, like y'all, like and I know Rick feels the same when I say this. We want to present ourselves accordingly because we understand what we're building, but then also what we're representing.
Yes.
So the fact that you guys can see that from that point of view, I appreciate that. Thanks for the love.
Just let you know,
understand we got a lot of good things going on here in the Sacramento region. Understand that.
Definitely that. Ladies and gentlemen, he's Tone's guy, he's Speed's guy, he's our guy.
I'm ready for it, bro.
Speed guy.
I'm not ready for it because I know he's gonna come on with some type of man on everything. I'm trying to be cool. Everybody keeps saying I talk with my facial expressions. So I've been trying to have this guy. I did my meditation. I did all my Zen today. So I knew because he was gonna come with some tomfoolery, bro. Go ahead, finish. My bad.
Y'all ready? Ladies and gentlemen, our guy, Mr. EL, Mr. Elijah Lewis.
Oh, EL.
Bruh.
Free Jimmy Kimball. Free Jimmy Kimball.
Hey.
I knew it. I knew it.
I feel you, bro.
I knew it. First you got the ears again. What's this on top of the ears? Is it just the bow still?
It's a bow. It's from the Queen of Hearts. You know how the Queen of Hearts wants to do. So the Queen of Hearts just wants to accuse everybody and just all the time says off with their heads. Just like somebody else that wears a red hat.
You keep doing this. They're gonna have to advertise with us, man. Give them some of that cheese, if you will.
But you know what?
Hold on, wait. You said something about red hat though, but I got red hat on. You talking about mine?
Not that red hat.
Yeah, but you got the right red hat on, bro. That red hat's a dope red hat. It's a cardinal red hat. We cool with that one.
Nah, this SF. This sucker free city. You know what I'm saying? But what's up, man? What you got these ears on again for?
But I have to let everybody know, make sure that you guys are reading real media, because the reason why this whole thing is going on is somebody is trying to acquire all the soccer rights except for the British Premier League. And I don't know who it is. MIC MONEY.
I like the way you wove that in there. Right on. MONEY is always the bottom line here. Always.
I'm sitting here
right about that.
I'm sitting here watching EL, and you know he's gonna come with some type of tomfoolery any time he comes on the show. But I'm watching how your eyes kept doing this while you singing this daggone song, bro. What's happening? You trying to say what you mean? Say it with your chest. Get it off your chest.
But if I say it with my chest, I don't want to get us banned on YouTube.
All right, well, keep your mouth shut then.
Okay. You say it with your ears.
I think he's saying it with his ears, too.
He said it with his ears. So, let's jump into it, man. Let's jump into this. We got a lot to talk about, and I don't know how much time we got, but let's jump into the NFL update real quick. There was a couple of games that, and we're talking about the Philly game and the Tampa Bay game. Now, we know both teams were down at one point, and they both came down to pretty much the last play of the game, which was it was a block punt or a block kick. And this is how Philly won, and this is how Tampa Bay won. How y'all feel about does that show resiliency, or does it show that there's some work that each team needs to do?
As far as each team, like who?
Tampa Bay and Philly. We know Philly's 3-0. They look like champs, but they got a few holes, but they look pretty strong. But at the same time, they should have been beat yesterday. I say they should have been beat, but they didn't. But how do you feel about that game?
The reason they weren't beat is because they were the better team. And even though it's still early, you got to think this is still week 3. There's still fine tuning going on. But at the end of the day, they know who they are. They're going to get some stuff together. And when your team is that great, I'm surprised. I'm not surprised as much as Philly, even though what they're doing is cool. I'm more surprised at Tampa. I'm more surprised at Tampa because Tampa is going out and like really fighting and earning and getting. And it seems like there's a resurgence of Baker down there too.
Yeah.
First off, I don't know if it was the jerseys. They wore one of my favorite jerseys that I like when they go that whole throwback collection. It was looking clean. But Mike Evans got injured, but also he got that touchdown. He kind of showed you, and with passing, what was it? I forget who he passed, broke a record with more reception touchdown.
Right.
They're great. They're doing some great stuff out there, and I didn't really check after his injury and see what was the extent of it, but
that's a tough team, man.
Yeah, they rocking. And Philly is already a tough team. We already seen what the hell they did last year.
Right. And I know while you talk about Philly, with Jordan Davis, picking up that, scooping up that football and running 90 yards for the TD, to win that game after that block kick. Philly got to be feeling real comfortable about that situation, because I think they had some bricks in their pants before Jordan Davis, did that, because they had to win that game. I mean, and while we even talking about it, DSpeed, EL, Rodney, what is this, the year of the kicker or something like that? What's going on? For good or bad? Well, we were going to be talking about kickers all season. This early in the season too, DSpeed. I know,
but you got to think about it. who was I listening to? Cleveland Browns coach in the locker room. He said, "Man, every faction of this team counts: offense, defense, special teams. At some point, everybody is going to have to play their position, and it's going to be down to if you play that position well." We seen what's going to happen with the kicker Moody in SF. He couldn't play that position well. You did at one point, then you went cold. They got rid of you. And now, if I'm going to be in that position where I need a field goal to win it, and I might need you to use a little leg, I got somebody that can do it. They did it in San Fran. They did it in Philly, and they did it in Tampa.
That's amazing, man. Here we are talking about the kicker, but you are right though. Every aspect of this game has to be almost played to perfection in order to win these games, especially these close games. There's been a lot of close games these past couple weeks. If your kicker ain't right, and Panero, you mentioned Moody, with Panero in San Francisco, dude was just, he wanted that. He wanted that moment.
Because you're going to have some games where it come down, it's going to be low scoring. You're going to have some 10-10 games. And that's only because great offense was matched by great defense, vice versa, or whatever the case may be. So this whole time, you in this battle, you in this gunfight, and it's going to come down to your kicker at the 45 or maybe at the 50. These kickers is having, strong little legs now. They launching it from furthermore, so it's detailed.
Well, that's definitely one thing you don't want to have to worry about is your kicker. I mean, your kicker don't even practice with the team. So one thing that we should be able to count on is our kicker coming through at least 90-95% of the time. So I'm definitely glad, like the Niners, they squeaked that one out. If we'd have had Moody, man, I'm not sure we'd have won that game because he had to make, some extra points and a few field goals to just, so when you can count on something like that, that puts your team in a place of peace because if it's a close game that you can kind of lean on this guy. Like you said, you can lean on the leg. Now I'm gonna do a quick 180 and I'm gonna ask Elijah, man, what happened to your Raiders, man?
Come on.
They played the Commanders, man. I have to give it up. If they're gonna go in there and go to DC and Jalen is still hot. I don't care what anybody says. The Commanders are still a hot team. They're going to be the team to watch out for. They're going to come down to they're a playoff team now. And just like they said this morning, you can't try to run that ball when he's a small back. He's a small back like that. There's no way. Ginty is a small back. They got to get that offense together. Pete Carroll's doing what he can with what he has, but again, I still will stand on this, and I will double and triple down on it. They should have just went and got Shadar. I don't know why people are still dissing Shadar, but Shadar would have been, even though Pete Carroll wants a veteran quarterback, I think that Shadar could have still been the winning piece to that team.
Rod.
What's up, bro?
Who are you talking about? Who is Shadar?
Shadur.
Nah, I want to know who is Shadar. That sounds. Come on.
Shadar is
all the way until you said the name Shadar, and I'm like, that's a new player.
Sorry, I can't talk today. Sorry, Dwayne.
Why, you're upset? You still mad at that Disney? Oh, my bad. But you right.
I'm mad. I'm upset today.
Mad. I can understand your team lost and look at everything else you upset. But you're absolutely right. With that little bet system that they got in Las Vegas, you're going to need a more dominant line. You're going to need one of them old school, what years was Emmitt Smith tearing it up? You're going to need like some big boys who can come and kind of create a lane for you to maneuver in. That line came to stand up to a lot of these D linemen and D ends that we're seeing on these other teams.
But yeah, whatever happened to those great lines like the Niners 80s line? There was nothing like that Niners 80s line. I don't care. I'm not a Niners fan, but that line was something else. That championship line,
Now, don't get me wrong. You got players like Trent Williams and like a couple of others, but that whole unit, it needs to be a lot more dangerous, especially if something like Pete Carroll wants to execute in that system there. But I do second your emotion, thinking that they should have went and got Shedeur Sanders, and not letting him sit right there and out there in Cleveland what he's doing, because Cleveland is doing something raw right now.
Yeah.
Like they got something going on, even though I'm like a hint, they got their first win. I still think that he would have been better under a Pete Carroll type of guidance. Even if you wanted to get Geno Smith, let him tutor and have a little fun with making a dual package system with that.
Right.
Like you can do something and be effective, because that's a nice little that boy, that's a player. And you already know what they got. They need help.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really got some serious problems there over that. And I think Geno Smith would have been a good teacher for Shedeur had they picked him up, because everybody know what Geno Smith is about. Of course, he's been in the league for about 10 years, and nothing's really gonna change about that. But I think he would have been a great educator for Shedeur had they did that. I don't know what who call was that, Pete Carroll or whatever. I know he wants to come in and win right away. That's why they picked up Geno Smith, and that's why they're in the situation that he is. But this is pretty much what you're going to see coming from the Raiders, especially if their run game is not effective as it is. I think yesterday that was Genty's first. That was his best game, out of 3 games right now. We went for about 63 yards or more or something like that on 12 carries or something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff he's digging out for himself, because that offensive line is not giving him any
that he was going to get
daylight.
that same Geno Smith that he was going to get out there in Seattle.
No, this is
front
different.
Five in Seattle was better than that front 5 that they got right now.
And I'm sure Geno would tell you the same too.
Yeah, so he was able to execute a little bit more, and they probably was able to have a more diversity in their run game. But you can't have that right there in Las Vegas. You don't got the personnel for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not taking credit away from the Commanders, because they had Mariota back there as filling in for Jaden and stuff. They did a pretty good job with that, but they have a run game, and that helps out a lot. That opens up a lot. On top of that defense, Commanders got a magnificent defense.
The Commanders, they put themselves in a pretty good position. Like Elijah was saying, they are a playoff team now. It's hard the year they had last year, I can't see them doing nothing but building up on it. And on top of that, I got one more game I kind of want to go over real quick. The Chicago Bears took care of the Dallas Cowboys. Caleb Williams threw for 4 touchdowns. As we saw that Dak Prescott, who's the one that got paid all this money to do what he do, he threw 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Are we looking at the same old Cowboys? Is it going to be like, we'll come through the season, we'll play okay, we'll do all right, we'll make this little playoff push, but in the end, we're going to get there and we're not going to do anything? Or is it a change for the Cowboys? And do we see them maybe making the playoffs? I mean, they still got to go against a couple of teams within their division that I don't know if they can beat that team. So what do you guys think? Because
let me start here about that too. Let me start here. Chicago probably was, I'm not going to say probably, Chicago was under a lot of pressure to win that game, okay? Because you got Brian Johnson in there as a new coach. Caleb hadn't really played particularly well in those first 2 games. Something had to be done. So if that momentum was not going with the Bears, Dallas could have, pulled that out, all right? I mean, the energy was really high in that stadium yesterday, and that pretty much dismantled the Dallas Cowboys. I still think Dallas.
The energy of that stadium is the reason why Cowboys is just going to be.
Man, it's crazy up in there. It is crazy up in there.
Now I ain't gonna knock you though, but the stadium and that energy are probably a must win for Chicago. Cool, but why we keep expecting more from Dallas? Are we setting our expectations too high year after year? It's the same old Dallas.
Yes, we're setting our expectations too hard. Dallas is going to choke. No matter what you do, Dallas gonna choke.
You know how the rivalry grow up? Like, me and my brother banged heads. I'm a 49er fan, he's a Dallas fan. And he would go hard. I heard him talk more mess about his team in the last 3 years than I ever have. Something ain't working. We keep expecting them to do something miraculous, like keep Parsons and build around them. Nah, man, it's just the same old Dallas.
I think Jerry
about seeing that team.
I think Jerry got a lot to do with that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jerry anyway, man. I think Jerry's he's a smart business owner. He knows how to make money, but you got to please your fans, man, and stop playing these games. You kind of like, you know, you like, hey, no matter what, I still got the highest rewarding team when it comes to the income coming in, but at the same time, you're not winning. Sooner or later, man, that plays an effect on your players. You know, you got the Micah situation. Last year, you had a CeeDee Lamb situation. Every year, it's a situation with your star player. So at some point, you're either going to pay them or you're going to sit them down. I had an argument with one of the clients in the barbershop, and he's like, man, I'm going to ask you guys the same question that he asked me. So one of the clients that came into HAIRitage, he asked, man, I don't care nothing about winning. If he's going to pay me $40 million not to win compared to somebody paying me $30 million to win, which way y'all going to go? I mean, do you want to be known as the man who got paid, or do you want to be known as a man that played the game that he's been all his life going forward to and bringing home that Lombardi trophy, or at least trying to get to that point?
I'll take $40 million for I'll take $40 million for losing Alex.
I know you was gonna say something like that. I knew you was gonna have that type of response. He was waiting before Rod finished answering the question. He was waiting to answer that.
He had the answer already.
Yeah, I mean.
So you would take the Disney deal over freedom of speech? Never mind. I'm not going to talk about it.
No, here's the thing about the Cowboys, but I'm going to say this. They have set up a culture with the way that they let, I'm not going to mention the owner's name,
right?
Let him just come ahead and just run that team. He needs to go and set himself down somewhere and let the front office do that job instead of getting himself involved. Go in the corner somewhere. It's time. You've been doing this since the 90s, homeboy. The 90s is over. Let's go ahead and do something good for Dallas. Dallas want to win too.
Hey, I think that's the problem. The 90s ain't over because Jerry just now hitting his 90s. On that point, let's get to the next. Jerry just starting, bro. He just hit. He on his way to 90. All right, let's jump to track and field real quick, y'all. Track and field. Now, I want to talk about the U.S. wins the most gold medals in the World Track and Field Championships. They have the most wins in history after the relays. And the women's and men's 4 times 100 meters, and the women's 4 times 400 to finish with 16 medals, breaking previous records of 14 for a single world. That in USA was 2005, 2007, and 2019. They are at 16 right now. So the USA has 16 gold medals at the world champion track and field thing. How are we feeling about that, Joe? What's up, Tom?
Let's talk about the players in this game on the men's side.
T-Hard, real quick. Hey,
yes, sir.
Hey, Rod, you said it's the what? The 4 times what? 100?
100 meters or whatever. I probably messed it up.
4 time 100 meter relay.
I was waiting.
Yeah, I didn't say it right.
Why you just say 4x1 and 4x
I don't know, man. Because it's been a long morning. I've been up since 4-something this morning. The same reason I said in the cut when I was supposed to say HAIRitage Sports Talk. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share with your friend. That's why Speed. Don't try to catch me online. Go ahead, Tom. My bad.
My fault.
No, I wanted to let y'all get that out, man. But anyway, like I said, I want to highlight and feature, the players in this game on the men's side and the women's side. So that was Christian Coleman, Kenny Bednarik, Courtney Lindsay, and the one and only superstar of track and field, Noah Lyles. So you had some thoroughbreds, if that's okay to say, coming from that talented group. They finished with a 37.29 seconds to beat Canada and Netherlands. USA track and field is coming back. I know there's been some down years, about 15 years ago, with the doping charges with some really talented, famous athletes back then. Kind of tainted the game, but it seemed like, it's gelling back. The training is much, much better than it has been. And as we all know, most of these athletes from international, they come to the U.S. to train, so they know what's happening here to get, the best quality out of their work. On the women's side, in the 4x100 meter relay, that was Melissa Jefferson Wooden, Twanisha Terry, Kayla White, and also, the best in her class, world-class sprinter, Sha'Carri Richardson. They beat the Jamaicans. Yeah, I love her. And she talks it and she backs it up.
Have you heard her story?
Yeah.
Have you heard her story, T-Hard, or read her story?
Explain. We're gonna do that. Let's talk about her story.
I don't want to talk about it right now.
But okay. No. What I do want to say that they beat the Jamaicans, and the Jamaican women track and field team, as we know, is extra talented. I mean, and they are the ones who practice and run and train here in America, because they go to most of these U.S. colleges and universities anyway. So to beat them in the fashion that they did on a wet track, okay, on a wet track, a fast track to be exact, that says a lot about women track and field this day. To accumulate that type of gold medals, that type of dominance in these international races, world-class races, you're at the top of your game. You've been working hard to get to where you are in track and field. Because as we know, in a way, it's kind of individual. It's individual sports, so, most of the competitions. But when you put things together as a team, you got that family element going to it. You could continue this on for a long time. Track and field is back, especially back here in the United States.
Gotcha.
So I would like to hear your story on that, though, D.
Check it out.
Yeah, we're gonna
phenomenal lady, woman.
We're gonna talk the story. Let's talk the story like in a week or two, most definitely. All right, let's jump over to. I want to jump to the WNBA, and one of the reasons why I want to jump to the WNBA is because the postseason has started with the WNBA, and the Fever upset the LV Aces 89-73. As Kelsey Mitchell, she led that game with 34 points. And then we also had the Minnesota Lynx with 82 over the Phoenix Mercury, who had 69. On top of that, we can continue this discussion. Miss Asia Wilson was also named the WNBA MVP. This is her fourth time in doing this. So that sets her up in the history books of that. Let's go. Let's talk about it, y'all.
Well deserved, Miss Wilson. Well deserved. She earned it. I mean, her body of work and her style of play, and then the effort, and of course the results are the reasoning she does it. Not only do I love Las Vegas Aces as a team, but her as a player, you could tell she puts a lot into her craft. Like those type of people who can be consistent and are impactful in this league, and especially for the Aces, like Miss Wilson is. That's raw, bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah, talent. She is a talent to deal with, to win multiple MVP in the league, and and keep that franchise running. That's class right there. I love the way she represents herself and the W. Because they need stuff like this. I know, Caitlin Clark over there on the Indiana side wasn't able to finish out the season, but we still have a lot of stuff that we can look forward to, in this playoff leading up to the championship. And Rodney, you did say it. Kelsey Mitchell, 34 points. She was just phenomenal in that game too. I gotta give her credit. And back to the Indiana Fever for what they did to the Vegas. Sorry, I'm just jumping around. Hey, did nobody expect him to be here without Caitlin Clark? He won what, 89-73? So they had a nice little spread on them in game one. W, just have to keep our eyes on it, man. I really like what's happening here across the board. At the end of the season, this when you want to be, peaking, and a lot of these teams are, including the Indiana Fever. So, hey, keep that rolling. Loving that.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
But the Aces ain't gonna let that go.
Nah,
that's
just
that
it's still early. Yeah, it's the best of 5 series. So we done moved past, right. We didn't move past the best of 3, which was in the first round. So, it's still a long ways to go. There's 4 more games to be played in that series, possibly. So,
you take a look at
Ace
all
is
of
not
the
going to
teams
let that go.
that win championships. Everybody has had in their route to doing so along the playoffs that one wake your game up game. Like every champion has had that one game where it's like, oh, heck nah. And they kind of wake your game up and make you get in alignment. Yes, shout out to the Fever of them, Indiana, like you said, TR, with them getting there. Nobody thought it was going to happen without Caitlin. And they woke the Aces game up. So now it's like you got to wake up, all right, realize who you are, go out there and execute.
Aaliyah Boston for the Indiana Fever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
She just get better with, she just like fine wine. And she's still young, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Woo.
She's getting better with time. I want to thank everybody for being on here with us. This is HAIRitage Sports Talk. We live right now, y'all. We appreciate everybody that's on here and everybody that's watching. Let's jump to the next one, y'all. So, MLB. We know these playoffs are getting ready to start soon. We're looking at the Brewers and the Cubs. They've clinched their spot. They're in the postseason. The Dodgers are no longer favorites to win the World Series, in which they were. And on top of that, Kershaw has announced his retirement after this season. And our man, Mr. Shahani, with his 53rd home run, he collected his, well, it looks like he's collecting his 4th MVP. And that's on both sides with the National and the American League, something that has been done only by a few people. We know that Barry Bonds set there at 7. But how we feeling about this postseason coming up where some of these teams are playing, and Mr. Kershaw and Mr. Shahani?
Man, I'm going to say this. I think the Cubs, I know you love your Cubs, but the Cubs might go down this year. I'm serious. The baseball that's being played by the Brewers is dangerous. It is like something I never seen. It's just dangerous.
Lars, real talk. I second. I've been watching TR. Your Cubs good. But Milwaukee got something cooking. They are Grooming for real.
They do. Hey, understand they only like 90 minutes apart and stuff. But even when the Cubs were hot early in the season, EL and DSpeed, I was always worried about this team because they are a class act, the Milwaukee Brewers that I'm talking about. But y'all know I'm still hanging with the North Side. Y'all know this. Wrigleyville, okay, 1060 Addison, West Addison. We rolling with this. Okay, they just got to get it together. Our problem has always been, and it has been decent this year, is pitching. We got the bats. But yeah, they're going to have to be ready because Milwaukee, they're not playing around. They never have been playing around, okay? I was always worried about that little lead that the Cubs had early in the season. Remember that? The Brewers right there on the doorstep. They're coming. They're knocking down stuff. And yes, they're doing this, that. Today they're 95-61, and the Cubs are 88-68. And as Rodney said, yes, they clinched the playoff spot. Yes, sir.
Did you just bang on us when you told us the address or something? Was that the address of the field?
Wrigleyville?
Yeah, that's the address of the field.
Wrigley Field, yeah, 1060 West Addison. I couldn't bring that up. I mean, everybody's so accustomed that that's where they fly to. That's where they fly to W, bro. Okay.
Hey, it's the way you said it. You said it like 1060 West Addison. I was just sitting back like I had to look at it and understand. Now this CR, he ain't banging on this. He probably That's probably what
I wasn't banging on y'all. I'm just, in case you ever want to go there. I don't know if you've been to that part of Chicago.
I want to go. I want to go to a Cubs game every
You expected me to spend all day here because it ain't just about going there for a 3-hour game. Because once you leave there, that's when the fun happens. They got all of them restaurants and shops and bars all up in that area and stuff. You will really have a nice time up in Wrigleyville. And hopefully they'll be flying that W in the same regard, though, man. I love that place.
Hey, Speed, we got some update information for you, man. It's about the Niners. Nick Bosa, ACL tear.
Oh,
wow.
That's breaking news. That's breaking news.
Wow.
Well, look, so this is my take.
That's the second one to just sign a big contract, Rodney.
I know, brother.
The receiver.
So here it is. I'm not going to be surprised how the Niners end up this season. I'm still going to be a fan. I'm still going to want them to win. But I knew when the season came out, when the opponents came out, and then looking at the personnel we got going up against those opponents, healthy, they'll do damage. Unhealthy, it's a lot of unknowns. It was a lot of moves done this offseason. And now I don't even like the confidence of play we saw at the beginning 3 games, these first 3 games. It ain't looking good for the home team, bro.
It's definitely not looking good.
And I'm a realist to understand that. It ain't gonna look good. I don't know how many more W's you're gonna get out of this struggling season that you already got.
Wow. I will say this: we still won half the games that they won last year so far this year. So you start.
They struggled to win those 3 games. They better be glad they got them.
Hey, we still undefeated,
right?
So you still got to put respect.
And they're number 1 in their division, so you got to get right now. They still the team to beat, but sometimes though, DSpeed, EL, Roddy, y'all know this. Sometimes it lights the fire up under the organization.
Hey, it does.
The San Francisco 49ers are a winning organization. They do know how to put things together, and you know what they say: next man up.
You absolutely right. That's where you're gonna see who you got. I really like that. I like the understanding of knowing that, but
put a damper in things.
It's sucks when one of your favorite players.
I have to say, and I have been using them all for the last 3 games. They have been doing well in that time. I did have San Francisco 49ers defense in my fantasy football league.
Hey, so you've been playing fantasy? Hey, let's talk about it. Hey, T-Hard, this is my first year doing fantasy, right?
Yes, sir.
I got a cool squad. I don't know if I'm going to win this week, though. I had Dallas.
You got the 49ers too?
No, I had Dallas defense.
Oh, and they got crushed.
Hey, man, I'm
their defense got crushed.
Yeah.
Caleb threw 4 touchdown passes, or did he throw 3 and 1 on the ground? 3 in the air, 1 on something like that. Yeah. But they got crushed. But I understand what you're saying, though. But the reason why you had them because of those first 2 games, they played pretty well, win or lose.
They did better than Baltimore, who I had the first 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And they got an outstanding defense. The Ravens do and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to tell you going forward, man. What's left out there on the wire, but you definitely better reevaluate the things that's going on there. But they still got some pretty good defensive players. What hurt that team was, when Micah bolted for traded to Green Bay, and Green Bay got more powerful in the fantasy league.
But Green Bay going back to Dallas this upcoming week. Who you got?
Yeah, who you got?
Who you got?
Elijah, who you got?
Hey, I got Green Bay all day. Green Bay and the Rams are playing football this year.
I got Green Bay. I just need somebody to go before me. I got Green Bay, DSpeed.
Hey, Elijah, I got a question for you. I don't want to break that conversation. We got about 5 to 6 minutes left on this, but I got one question for you, and I'm gonna ask you. This past Friday, UFC CEO Dana White appeared on Fox News, and he kind of shared details about the event on July 4th, 2026. on the White House lawn, the South lawn at that. UFC fight. How do we feel about that? Is it something that's going to bring? I don't know. It's going to be a big event due to the fact of where it's at and why they're doing it. How do you feel about that, Elijah? Give me about 2 or 3 minutes on it if you got it.
If I can describe it this way, there was a movie, and the movie was called Django, and there was a man named Mr. Candy, and he said, I can do what I want with my own property. And what was they doing? They was fighting.
I appreciate your words on that. Very short and sweet, and very, very straight to the point.
Still got 2.5 minutes.
But you know what though? And Mr. Candy said, now that's my property. And so what's gonna happen is with everything going on with UFC and TKO, it ain't nothing but somebody else trying to turn that property over so they can get their money. That's it.
Hey, yeah, bro. You realize this is live. We can't edit none of this out.
I said what I said, DSpeed.
Hey, bro, what's up? You good?
I said what I said.
All right, I'm leaving you alone today. You on fire today, bro. Somebody done pissed EL off in the background.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. This is HAIRitage Sports Talk. I'm gonna give you each one an individually time to wrap it up, and then we'll wrap it up right after that. I'm gonna start with you, Tony. Any last words?
Yeah, I know we have been talking about, Mickey Mouse ears and, deals that's going on, and the fate of Jimmy Kimmel, and the First Amendment is under attack. I have to say that. But also, ESPN and Major League Baseball are ending their broadcast partnership after the 2025 season. We also didn't, discuss that, but both parties agreeing to mutually terminate the deal. But they're still up in the air. I know ESPN, MLB is going to be looking for other partners, for the 2026 season, but they could return back to ESPN. So I think there's a little bit of a restructure of the deal. Baseball still going on. The Athletics will be playing their last 2 series here at Sutter Hill Park in West Sacramento. They play Houston starting tomorrow. The first 3 games set, and the last 3 games set, they play Kansas City, and then their season will end. The first season here in Sacramento at our beloved Sutter Hill Park, AAA club ballpark. So definitely want to give it up to the Athletics. I know it's been a tough season. Mark Kutz and his coaching staff have been doing excellent at developing these players through these hard times. We're going to see what happens when they roll into 2026. So just want to say that. I'm passing the baton to DSpeed.
Oh, man, appreciate that, TR. I really ain't got much, man. Just be a good person on purpose. That's really it, man. Let's move in love. I love being able to be on here every Monday, talk sports with the fellas. EL gonna come with some ridiculous entrance every time, but we gonna accept and love them as a Raider fan. You going under that towel next time, though, bro. Your team lost, and I'm mad that you missed the in the cut taping. But when you gonna pull back up, you going under that towel for this week and the upcoming week, because y'all ain't even finna win this weekend. We just gonna go ahead and speak that into existence. My bad. Nah, but it's love, man. I love it. I love being with y'all, being with the 4 brothers right now. In the absence of Rick and Marishaw behind the scenes. This is dope.
Yes, sir. Elijah.
I know I'm gonna have to wear a towel. So the next time I know I'll be on TV, I'll be wearing a towel. So John probably already asking for me, but I just want to say, John Chan 31 probably asking about me. So I'll probably have to send a shout out to John. But I just want everybody.
Know people on the first name basis. Yeah, hey John.
No.
Try to throw big names.
I just want everybody to have a clear head and just be informed out there again. Please look at your news sources, look at what you're doing, and look at what people are saying, and don't let the smoke screen get you. Do the looking for yourself. And kids, make your own decisions for yourself. Your mama can't do it. Your daddy can't do it. Your grandma can't do it. Know what you have to do for you to do the right thing.
Are you just sitting up here telling kids don't mind what their parents said? Make the decision for yourself?
No, when you're grown, you got to make these decisions, man.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in the household. You're going to get a lot of these kids jacked up talking about, no. EL said, no, I can make my own decision. Then he going to get knocked. Boy, you crazy. Man, all right. You play with them kids' parents if you want to with that. Don't tell no kid that, bro.
Let them come talk to me.
For yourself. That's what you said. I wish you would in my household where I pay the bills, make your decision. Now, you do what I say. If you got something to say, we might can sit at the round table, but you ain't decided nothing unless
you know what? Something. I said what I said, and Mr. Candy is going to the White House.
Hey. So anyway, before we get out of here, y'all, this is HAIRitage Sports Talk. This is a live edition right now. We appreciate you guys like all the time. I'm gonna leave everybody with a fun fact real quick. First black player to hit a home run in Major League Baseball was Willard Brown in the American League on August 13th, 1947, when he hit an inside the park home run for the St. Louis Browns. Ladies and gentlemen, HAIRitage Sports Talk, where we talk about everything on the outside, everything on the inside, and definitely everything in the cut. Where we listen to the rumors, we hear the rumors, but we're here to speak the truth and talk the facts. Until next time, I want to thank my man, Mr. Tony Harvey.
Thank
you.
Thank
Mr. DSpeed, Mr. Elijah.
Thank you, D. Right on, Elijah.
Mr. Ricky Fane and the rest of the HAIRitage team. Until next time, nothing but love ones. Until my fellas, I appreciate you guys, man, like every week. It's beautiful that we back on here and doing our thing. Nothing but love, y'all. Nothing but love. HAIRitage Sports Talk. We'll see you guys the next go around a week from now.
Peace, love, and solidarity, folks. I'm out.